Welcome to the 50th episode of the Hooligans Pitch. It's a special one today. Not only the Big 5-0, we got one of the OG Hoolies joining us today.
He's right there.
Our good buddy Jordan, Chelsea fan, obviously.
A few out there.
So, I mean, we're going to do beers. We'll get to that. But to really celebrate, we're starting with a shot.
What are you drinking, Chad?
I got some tequila.
Right on. I'm doing Wild Turkey. Jay?
I got some vodka here with you boys.
Oh, it looks cold, too.
Iced.
Hey,
Nice.
cheers, boys.
All right.
All right. Cheers to 50 and tons more.
50. Best year.
It wasn't too bad.
Woo-hoo.
Wasn't too bad.
Well,
It's worse when it goes down.
yeah. What else you drinking?
Well, all right, I'll start with my beer. I'm doing a Sunny Cat, little orange cat here. Nice little hazy brew. Yep. It's going in the glass.
Nice.
8%, so we're probably going to be feeling it really soon.
Okay, well, I'll be right there with you going Phantom Bride, a favorite.
Where's it?
When I see it in the store, it's hard to pass it.
Where's that beer from?
Mine?
Yeah.
It's called Second Shift Brewery. They are out of St. Louis.
Ooh.
St. Louis.
Chad, is that a Beaver Creek? Is that what it's called?
Belching Beaver,
Belching, there.
yeah.
It came to me. All right, Jay. So here's how we do this. Chad and I, we usually start out with our teams, the highs and the lows. You know, for this week, our teams were looking pretty high, both Liverpool and Arsenal, coming away with some easy victories over Burnley and Brentford. Chad, I'll start with you. Anything notable you want to say on that game?
I mean, it was, pretty run of the mill. That Trossard-Saka connection is glowing. Trossard has 6 goals in the Premier League this season, and Saka's assisted all of them. So that might be something to build on.
Now, he got some rocket boots when he got up in the air for that header, and then he ran into that post pretty damn hard.
Yeah, I mean, he's not the tallest guy, but he'll get up and fight for those headers and put his body on the line, clearly. But beyond that, it was not a whole lot going on. Zinchenko's goal was cool, a little karate kick goal. I like that one. And then Vieira getting the red card just stupidly. It was just a needless challenge, honestly, and it's like kind of sucks because the upcoming games he probably would have featured in, since they're kind of smaller teams that should be able to rotate the squad, but not for him.
Who you guys got? Brentford next. Then who's after Brentford?
Let's see. I wasn't that prepared for that question.
Well, I got you. You got Wolves and Luton next. So I see what you mean.
It not like clear cut wins on the Brentford and Wolves, but a game that he potentially could have featured in, and now he will not.
And Saliba, that was his first goal this year.
Yeah. Got up big, to reestablish the lead.
He's so stupid good.
Yeah,
He's talking about how composed he is when shit's going wrong, and he's just coming in there and just like.
It's so great to watch him and like kind of Declan Rice the same way. They'll go like full into the tackle, make the tackle, and then just like walk away like it was nothing, like unbothered.
Yep. That's what you need to win a chip.
It's true.
You need
We're
those
building.
guys. You need those
We're
guys.
moving that way.
Jay, anything you want to say on this game?
No, I did catch the last bit of it, and I did see that Zinchenko karate chop, and that guy's been got to be at least a green belt after that. So pretty good. I will give him that. I actually did fancy him a lot on City, so I'm glad he's doing well.
Yeah, Arsenal needs people like that to get him over the hump of winning a title, and I don't know, man. Everything's looking pretty good for them in the long run, but I do think top of the table, middle of the table, bottom of the table, they're all kind of slowly drifting apart, and I think we're starting to see that top 3 kind of come into fruition. Can I segue into Liverpool here?
Yeah.
Why the fuck couldn't we do this against Luton Town last week? God Damn it, man. 3-0 against Brentford. Made it look easy. Salah was just on point. It just shows how much depth we have that we could throw in Konate or Matip, which shout outs to Matip coming back. His last game he played was in that Tottenham one when he gave up the OG. And now he's looking. I mean, he was feisty. He gave up a late challenge, a tackle he won and got called for it. I've never seen a player freak out like this.
I saw that.
I don't know if you saw him freak out about the ref calling it a foul, but I'm totally cool with him losing his mind because that just shows how much he cares.
Yeah. Like his reaction looked like he, gave up a 93rd minute penalty or something. But like, that's what you want, though. You want your defense to care and be upset when something doesn't happen as it should or the call goes wrong or whatever. So yeah, all for it.
I thought something was wrong with him personally. I was like, is he okay? But yeah, he was fine. He just cares a lot, which is great. And I loved what Salah was doing. 2 goals from Jota. Shout out for goal of the week this week. Quick feet, banger FIFA shot. More with a laser beam FIFA shot. Yeah, that game made me content with how this year is going. Jordan, you didn't see me last week, but I've had a couple of meltdowns in like the last year of watching Liverpool play and just being like, why the fuck can't we score? Like, what the fuck is wrong with us? And then last week against Luton, we didn't want to score until the 95th minute. And I had to start folding laundry during the game because I just couldn't handle the pressure of...
Hey, if anyone understands, it's me.
I was going to say, like...
I mean, we can segue. I think this is the game that we all watched. We all watched closely. It was the... definitely the game that was the highlight one of the weekend, which maybe we didn't expect to go the way it did, but with Chelsea's recent form coming away with that 4-1 win over Tottenham and then coming in here to City, that was a crazy game. Jordan, run us through your initial thoughts going into the game. How did you think Chelsea was going to do?
Listen.
Be honest with me.
I was prepared to take an L. I really was. But, however, I did want to see at least a little bit of fight, some passion. At least have a couple goals on target. At least make them run for their money at least a little bit. So when I talk about this game, it definitely took me by surprise in the best way I can imagine. So. Yeah, that was my initial thought going in. I mean, they're top of the table. They're won the treble last year. One of the arguably the best teams in the world right now. So going into it, you have to have that mindset of we'll see what happens. But I mean, all I can say is a 10th place team going against a number 1 team like that. What else can you really say as far as like being pleasantly surprised? So. I think the match that you just highlighted on the Tottenham one, going off of that, gave us the confidence, a little bit of a boost going into this game. For sure. I think 4-1 victory over that and getting a hat trick from Nicholas Jackson, didn't see that one coming either. So I just think the confidence boost from that game just carried into this game exactly what we needed. So, yeah.
Okay, let's go by goal here because it really was like kind of a tug of war back and forth. And the first goal, which was a PK by Haaland, was we've talked about this in recent weeks, where the whole when you're in the box, a foul is a foul, but sometimes it's not a foul. And then two players are colliding together, and let's be real, Haaland was doing some grabbing too there. I personally think that should have been a 50-50 no call, and it would have been totally fine because we've seen this happen how many times over the last however long we've been watching. I'm sure decades prior to that, where players are going to grab each other in the box, and if they decide to go down together, they go down together. But in this instance, Haaland's a 6'5" robotic beast going against old man Thiago and crazy Mark Cucurella, and he ends up with the PK. And I was just like, that's so unfair. That's so unfair.
Especially if you look at the initial VAR, which I was hoping they would catch, is that Haaland was the first one to grab the shirt of Mark Cucurella, yanking him through. And obviously the next reaction is going to be for him to give him a little physicality back. So you assume that's a 50-50 ball right there. So, and like you said, I mean, height on this guy compared to Marco Gray is even a question. He went down way too soft to have that be a penalty.
Yeah,
I mean,
that was my thing. Is like Haaland started it. They're both tugging. Haaland has the size and strength over him, so then he kind of uses that to his advantage, and then falls over. Like,
why can't this be a foul on Haaland?
it probably should have been, right? Like,
I don't know.
Absolutely.
It's controversial. That's the bottom line of it, and the fact that it's happening in this game, and it's always happening to City. It's happened 2 weeks in a row now, where they're getting away with this crap. I'm sick of it.
Not to mention, well, there's two things to factor here as well. One, he got, for a 50-50 challenge like that, arguably, to give him a yellow card is a little out of the ordinary too.
yeah.
I mean, even rubbing more salt in the wound, A, and then B, I mean, I'm going to be the guy to say it. Why is Anthony Taylor fucking managing or reffing this game?
Yeah, I thought he got demoted like last week.
He got demoted, made controversial calls down there, and then decides that, hey, biggest game of the week, come on back. I mean, like, why is he even here?
Was that just a media leak, like a leak that someone made up? Because it didn't make any sense to me why they said that, and then 2 days later they reestablished him.
He probably paid somebody to come in and show how much he hates us, like he always does. So,
or we missed something in the news.
He definitely has some agenda against Chelsea.
Yeah, like. Absolutely. I think it's pretty blatant. Dad and I, when we watched the FA Cup final, I think that was there's nothing I could do.
I mean, that was probably the clearest example of like Anthony Taylor like hates Chelsea, doesn't care about integrity of the game, you know.
His agenda
coming from the opposition too. So that's saying something. I remember looking over at that and just saying, he just doesn't want to leave. He knows it. So, I mean, I'm part of the petition that did sign the online waiver to never have him ref another Chelsea game. So
can you post that link now that you're in this Discord? I'd like everyone to at least. I bet everyone in this Discord probably signs it, because if you scroll up, there's a hatred towards Anthony Taylor. And
honestly, I don't even know why he's here. Let's start looking at the refs in Bundesliga or something, because they're doing something way better over there than them. I mean, come on, we're controversial right now with VAR. So.
Yeah.
Just never let him near another Chelsea match, and I'll be happy.
He's gonna ref him next time, so
absolutely.
Yeah.
So
be prepared. Thiago Silva scored a goal, becoming the oldest goal scorer in the Premier League. Is he the LeBron James of soccer?
He might be. I think he might be.
I think that's a pretty good argument.
I mean, honestly, like at 39, he was, for the most part, like keeping Haaland in check. I'm surprised they didn't try and like really play on the like Haaland's pace compared to Thiago, but you know, he did his part. He kept him in line and then got a goal to get Chelsea back in the game. Like, damn, 39.
I think what coach was playing with having another big husky Disasi and the other center back to help him kind of do a double ball and keep him in place. If he had pace, that's where you have Disasi come and sweep that up. You know, 39-year-old man can only have so much in his knees.
Yeah.
But honestly, I'm almost to the point. I'm like, should we give him another year? Give him another year?
I mean, I would say yes, but ideally not for him to be starting every game. Right?
No, bro, you're gonna kill him.
Well, you're gonna kill him, but like the leadership and like mentorship he can provide to these players would be invaluable. Like,
no, I think what I've been saying is that I really want Levi Colwell and the other youngsters around him to really learn and develop and adapt his leadership and get what they can before he goes, because I'd love to see that carry. So, but you can't teach stuff like that sometimes, and it's just something that's natural. He's a natural born leader. So
well, and those guys you're mentioning, they can't stay on the pitch.
Oh, absolutely not.
They keep getting hurt.
If you're talking about the impacts, if you're talking about that, they're made out of glass right now. So, but I mean, arguably though, I mean, Reece James is going into that.
He's stupid good.
He looks great.
I mean, even if we get him for 60 minutes a match, he's very vital for that team.
Worth it, yeah.
And then,
I mean, I'll take it.
With the rotation with Gusto too, I like Gusto a lot. I think they both provide really different options for Chelsea on the right side. And we don't get us wrong, Jordan. We've been shitting on Chelsea for like the last 9 weeks, and now in the last, arguably the last 2 years. But in the last 2 weeks, we finally have something like bright to say about them. And now I'm like, bright future Chelsea. Is that true? Can we say that?
Hey, this could be the turning point for us. I mean, come on. That's a 4-4 draw from City. I know we're at home, but I mean, a team that hasn't really been gelling, and this is their first season under a new manager. I mean, I think I can see a lot of light coming our way. So, I mean, I gotta stay positive. You have to.
Well, yeah, but I mean, if you're looking long term and like you got a young squad, you're trying to build it and get these guys good. Like Pochettino's a great guy to have lead that.
Mm-hmm.
So you're heading in the right direction.
Yeah, absolutely. I've liked what I've seen so far with him. I hope we have to understand now that we're not under Abramovich anymore. I think that I'm hoping with this new ownership, they're going to give a lot more time to more projects. But I know a lot of the other Chelsea fans will probably say that. I mean, they don't know anything about giving people time. We're used to like pushing managers, so that's what we're known for. I mean, but I really think that I don't know, Pochettino could do something special, and that's what I'm hoping. I like what I see so far, so I'm backing him.
Patience is key, man. Like the lack of patience for some of these teams that are trying to come up and they're not coming with success quickly, and people are freaking out. It's become a talking point for us. Even it's just like, okay, like are we overblowing this? Is this? Do people need to calm down and like, we're only in week 12 right now. We got a long way to go. Like things could be very different, even a month from now. I mean, we saw Tottenham in first place 2 weeks ago. Now they're in fourth, and they might continue to drop. And I think it's going to happen, but it just goes to show how quickly things can flip.
You're welcome.
All right, let's talk about the next goal. So Chelsea go up 2-1 with the Reece James pass, which was a very slick pass, deadly through ball to Sterling. But then the following goal, City, Akanji just wide open. That was like, I thought at that point I was like, oh, they screwed up. Like this is not looking good.
Oh yeah, that was the free kick. The free header, right?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was. I think it kind of happened a little quick for that free kick, and Thiago Silva. I think that was his man, but I think he trusted someone to be behind him at that point. But yeah, that was just a free header. We should have done a lot better there. But.
And then the butt ball, the next one that Haaland got, that where he kind of slid in there. They said it touched his arm a little bit, and
I didn't see it.
I didn't see it either, but I understand it happened so fast, and the way the camera was angled, if it did brush against his arm while it was going in goal, like there's no way they can call that back, right?
I don't think so, but I will say from the angle I seen, I think even if it did touch his arm, it looked like the ball was passing line at that point.
Yeah, and that's what I thought too. Is like if that ball's not all the way over the line, it's like 2 centimeters away from passing that line. Like you can't tell me if you do call a handball there, you're gonna call that not a goal. Like
way past that point. So yeah, I think that was fair. But I will say he's breaking records. I mean, first guy to get a goal with the sack. So I mean, something. I mean, if he doesn't get the ball in door, I mean that's the ball's in the door. It's right there. So.
There you go.
Yeah. This is his year.
Yeah.
This is his year. That might be the Puskas too. You never know.
You never know.
So after that goal, I think City goes up one more. Correct me if I'm wrong, or they tie it again. It's the Nick Jackson goal. Nick Jackson comes in. Yeah. Man, every time that ball hits his feet, I just think to myself, how's he gonna mess this up? And I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But that's just the way I feel.
I understand. He hasn't been the person to convert his chances, that's for sure. But I do admire his ability to get into the right positions.
Yeah.
Going to work on off of that.
Yeah.
But as far as being a poacher, I mean, I never thought I'd say to myself, watching a Chelsea striker get a hat trick and think, should we be starting next game? You know what I mean? So, I mean, I'm just hoping that, I mean, this is, 4 goals in 2 games now. So hopefully, I mean, maybe confidence is what he needs.
He reminds me. Go ahead, Chad.
I was just going to say, you going Nick Jackson or Morata?
Oh,
that's a great question.
Yeah, that's tough. I mean, I think Nick Jackson has more goals than Morata right now in his first season. So
probably.
Yeah, and then we still have half the season left. So right now, I'd say more room to grow. Let's go.
Exactly. Yeah.
Just to clarify, Morata has 7 goals right now in 9 starts. So they're close. Okay. They're close.
Yeah.
I want to say Nick Jackson reminds me kind of Nunez's shaky start last season, where new league, got to get comfortable, roughly the same age. It takes time, especially when Chelsea has all these developing players, to see him kind of at least have glimpses of stardom. And Nunez was kind of filled with stars. That Liverpool team already had a bunch of stars around him. So I don't know, you put Nick Jackson in Liverpool and maybe things look very different. It would be a kind of interesting, interchangeable player. I just think he needs to calm down. When the ball touches his feet, it looks like his brain is going a mile a minute.
For sure. You can tell he's overthinking if he should pass it, and that's what his problem is thinking too much. But that comes with lack of confidence, though.
Mm-hmm.
That's if you're not confident in front of goal, you're always going to be overthinking, and that's why you're seeing that be the way it is. But I did have a thought, though, and I did pull up something, is that I mean, I don't know if you guys have heard it, but among the Chelsea fans, they have talked about him being a close recognition to Drogba when he first got signed in. I mean, he had a great preseason. So I know that in 11 games, 10 starts, he has 5 goals at the moment. So, and it's his 3rd season of senior football. And if you compare Drogba's first 5 seasons, his first season he had 0 goals. In his second season he had 7 goals. His 3rd season he had 0 goals. Fourth season he had 5 goals, and then the 5th one he had 3. So I mean, if you have a comparison in that, just based off of stats on paper, I mean, it's still pretty early for him.
Mm-hmm.
And he does have glimpses of him having that eagerness and having that hunger and confidence and small parts, but I think at the moment, just being the converter of chances is what is really lacking, and I think that comes with time, though. And the coach is the right guy to get the best out of him. So I think it's a promising future.
Yeah, I think it's like you said, he's getting into really good positions. So that's already kind of a hard part of the game to understand, and if he's kind of leading on that front, then like that's pretty good. Like you can kind of train the shot into a guy, and like obviously as he scores more goals, he'll get more confidence in him, and probably start to calm down when he gets that chance. And it's his preseason was great. That's why I highlighted him in our fantasy pool. And then it hasn't really materialized in the league, but he's got plenty of time ahead of him. So
absolutely. And I think the pressure of us being in a goal drought as much as we are is a lot to weigh on his shoulders as well. If you looked at the preseason we had in Cuckoo, that was also giving him an assistance of getting the pressure off of him and him getting goals. And the fact that he's the star player right now to get everyone's looking at him to be the guy to do it. I think that also is a lot to contribute to his form too. So, but I think November being the month that Nkunku comes back, I don't know, you might see something different. Maybe he needs someone around him like that, or at least some friendly competition, at least in that starting squad. So, we'll see.
Well, his stats at Villarreal were really, really good, considering that league had some pretty feisty defenders. We looked up the stat today: 137 red cards in the La Liga last season. So I'm sure people were diving at his shins all the time and making it very difficult. So to put 12 goals in 16 games is quite impressive. It'll take some time, different physicality, a lot colder in these next couple of months. I'm really curious how the weather is going to change things up and make teams a little more, not as loose, especially the older guys. I think it will affect them as we start to age. I understand it more and more. The cold weather really grinds on your knees. And I'm curious how like the Mo Salahs and the Virgil and hell Thiago, like how are these guys going to do from December to February when it's damn cold?
Mm-hmm.
I love these next months.
Yeah.
These next months are like so telling of what a team's going to do.
I think it's a pivotal point too. You might see a lot of shifts in that table,
especially at the top right now. Which, it's gonna get spicy this next couple months. It's gonna get real spicy. But let's talk about the last goal. Cole Palmer getting himself a PK. Broya earning the PK, which City, I don't know what the hell they were doing on defense. Totally blowing it, making ridiculous tackles. And then, of course, a great hesitation move to earn the PK. How joyous were you when he called? Because I was sitting right here, and I stood up, and I was like, let's go!
No, I was at that point with the 9 moments of the game. I mean, I was very hopeful still. We still looked threatening in some positions, and I think that's what caused that tackle to happen.
Yep.
Man City was a little frantic in the back, and they felt the pressure was on. And I think Broja coming in, I think that was a great substitution for Poach. I think that's exactly what we needed. I couldn't have been happier. But I will say that to have the pressure of Cole Palmer stepping up, 9 minutes of a game, being at his age, against his former club nonetheless, was great to see. Amazing to see. I stood up. It was too much. It was all blur after that, so it was great.
Yeah, I mean, Cole Palmer the whole game, I looked like he was playing with something to prove. Like he was
Absolutely
out there to show Pep, like, you fucked up not giving me any play time. Here you go. You know.
Now, did y'all see? Sorry, go ahead, Jordan.
I was going to say it was that, and plus I think Raheem had something to say too, not only to Pep but also to old Gareth Southgate too. Even though I don't think he got the call.
I don't think he did.
Yeah, but I think
honestly, I thought Sterling maybe was talking to those two, but also maybe felt some type of way about Doku, kind of like taking over his role, because he played how Doku played last week against Bournemouth. Like, he was styling on that pitch, making those runs, gets the nutmeg on him and everything. Like, Sterling was a different player.
Absolutely. But I will say Reece James did a great job pocketing Doku, no matter how threatening he was.
Yeah.
I do want that in there. So, yeah, it was a really great match.
Now, see, Jordan, you don't know this, but I chose Chelsea to be in my top 4 at the end of the season. And if this is the Chelsea that shows up week in, week out, I'd be more than happy to put them back in my top 4. Like, honestly, they play up to the team, at least in the last, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, however, the wins they've been getting. Don't you wish they had this fire every week?
That's what my next thing was, is that you from this game and the Tottenham game, you have the quality, you have everything you need, you have the players around you, nothing's really changed. You should be getting results. And I want them to step up now more than ever, honestly. There's no really any excuses. But I do know that for whatever reason, and I don't know, it's just that the smaller teams that sit back, we have such a hard time breaking those defenses down.
Yeah.
And we play a lot better, you can see from the Tottenham game and the City game, teams who come at us. And it's a well-balanced match. And that's when I think that we shine the most. But, I mean, yeah, I think all the players are there. Cuckoo's coming back at the end of November here, and I think we should be on I'm hoping for a winning streak after this. So I think we have good momentum right now. And like you said, this is the pivotal point. This is going to be a change in time, so maybe this is our chance to take advantage of that. So
yeah, And I mean, you got like decent matchups coming up. You got Newcastle after the break, which Newcastle, how many injuries we got? They're struggling,
The castle's crumbling, Chad. The castle is crumbling.
They should come out and play, right? Not sit back too much. So that should be good. Then Brighton after that, like they don't sit back; they come out and play. So,
but they've been struggling. I think the two you just said, Newcastle and Brighton, are very winnable for Chelsea.
Mm-hmm.
I think they'll be tough.
No, that's what I'm saying. Is those teams will come out and play. So it should allow Chelsea to, they've built off these two games, and you're not going into, a Sheffield or someone that's going to pack the box. Like, I think Chelsea can win those and probably should. And then, even the week after that, Brighton is United, which, between the two squads, I'd lean Chelsea is the better fit squad and, coming into better form. So, yeah, Chelsea could make a good push here over the next few weeks.
I mean, we've already knocked Brighton out of the EFL. I don't think we have any fear of not getting 3 points there. I think that we're pretty confident against them. Even in preseason, we were looking good against them. So I don't know. I think we'll be good there. Newcastle will be interesting, and then United will be the battle of the mid-tables for sure. So we'll look forward to that one too, though. It's good friendly rivalries.
All right, I think we nailed that game. Anything else you guys want to bring up about it?
But we got to talk about the Walker handball that just was not called.
Oh, yes. Okay, yeah.
The hell's that?
I don't know.
Anthony Taylor.
Clearly, and even if he doesn't see it, what's the line ref doing? Did
they even review it? Did they even review it? They just put it on. They didn't even question it.
Played on. I don't know if you heard the commentators, but they were like, they saw the replay and they were like, yeah, it's a handball, but Walker's not doing anything to I forget exactly what they said, to influence the play or something. I was like, what do you mean?
But his arm was out. It was in this unnatural position. What is natural anymore? Who makes up what's a natural position?
Yeah, that was wild. I mean, it would have just been a free kick, but that was a free kick right on the edge of the box. That's another threatening situation for Chelsea. So
it could have changed the result.
Mm-hmm.
It could have changed the result. And I think there was a lot of other side controversial calls. A lot of the goals that came both of them was when Conor Gallagher was down from a debatable foul. They didn't review any of that either. So he was down on the pitch for a bit, and then that's when they won the penalty on their side. And then the other one came was right out. I think it was the free kick they had. But either way, I mean, to not even review it, question it, how have been is just ludicrous.
They'll send you an apology. Don't worry.
You'll get
the only apology I'm getting is I'm getting that pen, throwing that apology away, getting the pen and signing another petition. Anthony Taylor.
As you should.
Did y'all see Mudryk wipe his boogers on Kyle Walker?
I did see that.
It was pretty good. It was a full pop.
Oh yeah. Do you also see the Kova one too? Kovacic?
No.
Yeah.
After there's a viral video going on after Palmer got his goal. Kovacic kind of does a little turn and goes like a little, kind of like. It was very subtle. It was very subtle and very quick, but it was almost a little small celebratory thing. And once the blue, it was the blue, I guess. So
that's it, He traded for the light blue, and he's like, more of a dark blue fan, honestly.
Plus, he did a lot of memories at the bridge. He forgot he was there,
Yeah.
This is his first light blue team.
That's true.
Madrid was dark blue. Inter dark blue. Chelsea dark blue.
Yep.
Yeah.
Doesn't feel right. Doesn't feel right on him.
All right, boys. I want to play a fun little game with us.
Cool. Let's do it.
Jordan, this is a little game. We call this True. That might be true. Totally ridiculous. I'm going to ask a question.
Okay.
I want you to take it all in, spit it back out. This one's gonna be I think it's gonna get your juices flowing. Y'all ready?
Ready.
Yeah.
True, that might be true, totally ridiculous. Cole Palmer is better than Kai Havertz.
You mean is this like currently or
Hey
just in
man,
general?
he's just better.
He's just better.
Jordan, your thoughts? You true?
True.
Or that
Oh,
might
yeah.
be true.
I feel like I got to say that might be true,
I know you do.
only because we don't know enough about Palmer yet.
Well, won the Champions League last year.
Yeah, sure.
Havertz won the Champions League the year before. Both players weren't. Now, would you say Havertz had a big influence in that Champions League run?
He got the
Yeah.
winning goal.
Yeah, he got the winning goal. I mean, yeah, that's the main takeaway for sure. But I think that he definitely contributed, as we didn't have really a big striker at the time. So I mean, he was the false nine to fall in that position. So I think, yeah, I think he was definitely influential. But nowadays, I'll Chad take it over.
Look, he's looking better over the past few weeks, but he's been playing on that right side when Odegaard is out. So I think this is his issue now. Is like on that right side, he seems to be able to operate much better, get on the ball much more, have more of a contribution. Whereas that left side, he gets like very little time on the ball. He makes a lot of runs, but I think by design, players don't look to him. I think he just drags the line, which is fine. But again, it doesn't help your stats. All that said, he's had a few clear cut to like pretty solid shot opportunities that have gone wide or straight at the keeper or just aren't hit as nicely as he should. I don't know that I would say he's worse than Cole Palmer though at this point. Like I think it's too early in Palmer's career to really gauge him compared to Havertz. But currently, I'd say based on form and how they're playing, like currently Palmer is the more promising player.
I think this is purely psychological. I think Havertz doesn't have that confidence right now. He's still figuring it out, while Cole Palmer feels like he has something to prove. I don't know if Havertz has that, at least from neutral coming from the outside. Like, does he want to prove? Like, I don't see the same type of drive from Palmer to Havertz when I watch them play. Now, granted, I don't watch every Chelsea game, I don't watch every Arsenal game, but it's when I do get to see them, they look very different in terms of aggressiveness and confidence on the ball.
Havertz has that play style kind of like Ozil though, where it's like looks very uninterested and like lackadaisical, I guess, right? But that was kind of the comments that I've seen through the early stages of the season. People just want to see like a little more aggression and a little more fight, and then you get that tackle against Newcastle, and like it was a little crazy, but like there's some aggression, there's some fight, and he's been stronger in challenges, and is playing better. But again, it's in that right side where once Odegaard comes back, do we just shift him back to the left and then he's same old Havertz that we've seen, or does he just play like Odegaard backup right now and we find someone else for the left side, or what? I don't know, but I want that guy to get a goal at least.
That's what he needs it, dude. He needs it bad. Anyway,
you can tell. It's a psychological factor. It's almost the same thing as Nico Jackson. You can just tell he's overthinking everything. And just based off of past experience with Kai, how is he doing in his European tournament games?
I mean, honestly, it's kind of the same. Like, it's
more clinical in the bigger games. I feel like, but I mean,
yeah, I mean, our Champions League group isn't, there's no like big team in there, so I don't think that's really called to him too much. So like that Newcastle game was, a most recent big game, and like he showed up pretty well for that. Didn't get a goal or an assist, but played his role. His one challenge. Yes, got him a yellow, but also got 3 other Newcastle players booked at the same time. So like that's a pretty big win right there.
I mean, hey, yeah, gotta highlight something. That's good.
Yeah.
I feel like Havertz is in this role where it's like, just don't mess up. Just do your job. You don't need to be overly fancy. You got other players around you who can do that for you.
Yeah, and that's the thing too, is like we know Arteta has like a pretty strict vision of like what he wants from each role. You know, Granit Xhaka was kind of able to just mold into that pretty easily. Kai is struggling with that. Will he get there? I don't know, but if anything, he can be like a backup to Odegaard, a tall striking option. You know, he's just got to get a goal.
As soon as he does, Chaz is going to have this, like, you're going to see Chaz's shoulders are right here talking about Kai Havertz, and eventually it's going to be like this.
I swear, like every time, like especially these past few games, like Sheffield and Burnley, I was like, this is the game. You know, he can grab a goal. Not a big team, but like at least grab a goal that's not like this pity penalty against Bournemouth.
That was like, please don't fuck this up, please. All right, let's move on to this next question here. With 13 goals and 3 assists in 12 games. True, that might be true. Totally ridiculous. Haaland is underperforming.
I'd say true.
I'm with you. I think that's true as well. And my reason behind that being true is I don't think he's getting fed enough.
Doesn't have De Bruyne.
I see. That's where the first point. I know you're probably being sarcastic right now, Chad, but the quality that
a little bit, but also not. Like,
do you think that's because though De Bruyne just is like force feeding him, which is what they should be doing anyway?
I mean, you see the balls that De Bruyne can throw into that guy, and they're served on a plate.
But you could throw any ball at that guy. I could throw balls at that guy, and I think he would score them. I don't think they're doing it enough. That's the point I'm trying to make. Is when you have talents like Bernardo Silva and Phil Foden and Kovacic now, who's supposed to be this legendary passer, Doku now on the wing. Feed the man. And I hate saying it because I hate City, but I just don't think they're feeding him enough, which is crazy because he has 13 goals in 12 games.
Well, I've also seen a couple of matches now where I've seen him off the ball. I just kind of like highlighted him, and I can see there's a very tight defense that surrounds him to the point where he's always covered. And that might contribute to something, might not, but I'm just saying that maybe his first season in the Premier League, some coaches got together and maybe found some things that stopped him from being so threatening. He still is threatening, obviously, but I mean,
he's on pace. Know. He's on pace to score 43 goals. He's still. I don't think they've shut him down. I think they've brought him down one peg, just one. Which and he's missing arguably the best player in the Premier League in De Bruyne. So, Jordan, is that true? Might be true.
Performing, I think, may be true. I think it may be true.
So, what would be if he was underperforming? Where do you think his stats would be right now? Because right now he's leading the league with 13 goals. Next is Salah with 10. Is 1 goal a game okay for him? I know, man. I'm trying to make it dig.
Yeah, it's really tough. That's why it might be true. I'm not sure.
You put Haaland on any other team right now too, and I bet the same stats are happening. I don't think much is changing. The scouting report on him is probably so different from last year because not a lot of teams understood where he was going to play, how he was going to play. So I'm not too surprised now with the point you brought up of how teams are collapsing on him a lot quicker. We saw Arsenal do it almost to the perfection with Saliba on him. I don't know, man. This dude scares me. He's only, what is he, 23? Like, we're so screwed for the next decade.
Yeah. I just need him to get bored at City and, like, I don't know, go elsewhere, go to Real or something.
Yeah, he's a robot.
Or if Mbappe's going to go Real, have Haaland go to Barca. Let's, like, reinvigorate that rivalry.
All right, one more for you guys. True, that might be true, totally ridiculous. Manchester United isn't that bad. Now,
what do you mean by that bad?
Now, they're sixth in the league, so I'm going to elaborate. Are they the sixth best team in the Premier League? Now, we can go down from them. We got Newcastle beneath them, Brighton, West Ham, Chelsea, Brentford, all in that order. I think, I'll start it off here. I think they probably are the sixth best team. I think the league is kind of shifting in a way where the top five is going to be pretty heavy. I think that is going to split off with Aston Villa. Tottenham's going to hang around. Arsenal, Liverpool, City. I think that's going to be your five. Okay? And then I think you got this middle pack. And then I think you got your bottom pack. And I think Man U is probably the top in terms of quality in that middle pack. But I just don't think they're that bad. Now, they have a lot of injuries. They're going to have to overcome a lot of things, but they're slowly trickling back. I know they just beat Luton Town 1-0 late winter. I know they got some things they got to work out, but with the talent they have, they shouldn't be worse. How about that? They shouldn't be worse than sixth.
Yeah. I mean, I guess I'm between like 6 and 7. Like,
because of Newcastle?
I think I'd rate Newcastle a touch higher than them. But obviously we're seeing Newcastle has some depth issues.
Mm-hmm.
So, whereas, United has probably a similar number of injuries, and especially to key players. And United's kind of hanging on, and it's a 1-0 win past Luton, but you got to grind out games.
I would have loved to win 1-0 against Luton.
Yeah, I'd say 6 or 7 is like proper positioning for them.
I mean, go look at their injury report right now. I'm going to read it off to you guys. Okay, ready for this? Casemiro out. Martinez out. Wan-Bissaka got a fever. He's out. Luke Shaw. Eriksson just went out with a knee injury. Haaland just went out with a hamstring injury. And, of course, our favorite Jadon Sancho is... I don't even know where he is at this point. So, that right there, we're all players that were starting for them. And now they're just gone for X amount of time. The return date on these guys are after an international break, but I'm pretty sure that it's a default just because they're hoping they can make it back by then. I don't know. I just think when you have Bruno, who, let's be honest, hate the guy, but he's really good. When he's on your team,
he works really hard for the team.
So. He works really hard. He wants to win. He wants to prove that when you wear the Man United kit, you got something to prove.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't think in terms of style of play and their fluidity in their game, I don't think United's there. I think they've gotten lucky a couple of these last few matches, and that's what's been the difference. But I mean, that's what's making them, in that position in the first place. They are clinical when they need to be. But as far as just watching them on a day basis, it's nowhere near pretty, I would say.
I'd argue a majority of teams right now in the Premier League aren't pretty.
That's true.
That's why I'm arguing they're sixth best. I mean, Chelsea can make a run. They could. They're only 5 points behind. We're at week 12 and it's still so early. This board can jump so far, but I've seen West Ham look ugly. I've seen Brighton look ugly. Newcastle look ugly. The list goes on. So they are the prettiest of the uglies, I think is what I'm trying to say here. And Jordan, you don't know this. We shit on Man United for like 50 minutes 2 weeks ago. It was a hell of an episode. And I still don't feel too different about how they are now, but I just don't. I think the disparity of talent from this middle of the table part, like they're still the best of the middle part of the table.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, I think they've been the one thing they've had that most teams have not is just being clinical at the right times.
Yeah,
that's what's been the difference. And that's what separates them from the 7th spot to the 10th.
Well,
so,
it's freaking McTominay, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
The dude comes in there and scores stupid goals in the 90th minute and bails him out.
McTominay and the random Bruno kick that just finds the net.
Ridiculous. All right, should we get into the portion where we just kind of jot through games here and kind of pick out what we saw and what we think?
Yeah.
Let's do Bournemouth and Newcastle. Bournemouth beating Newcastle. Jordan, did you see the fan talking to Kieran Trippier after the end of the game?
See that?
Yeah,
I did see that.
Oh, you did not?
Yeah. I did not what?
I'm sorry. Did you see Trippier talking to the fan after the game?
Yeah, I did see it. Yeah, I saw it.
Yeah. So
yeah, I did.
I think the fan and Trippier are both right. I think Trippier saying we got a lot of injuries. Like, what do you expect? But I think the fan is like, this is Bournemouth we're talking about here. Like, are you kidding me? Bournemouth has scored 11 goals and beat them 2-0, and Newcastle scored 27. So,
yeah,
I don't know.
I mean,
think the fan's right.
Like, yeah, it's a little bit of both. I'd say, like, obviously, injuries play a part. You can't rotate as much. Newcastle coming off their midweek Champions League game, like probably a lot of the same players that played midweek had to play this weekend. So I get they're tired, but I mean, yeah, at the end of the day, it's Bournemouth. Like, if you got to hunker down and, just sit back and, send Anthony Gordon on a counter and to grab a 1-goal, smash and grab sort of thing, then do it. Like, you don't have to come out full speed, guns blazing every single game if you don't got the manpower and energy to do so.
They were without Bruno too, which strategically Newcastle planned to have suspended for this game. So I don't know why fans are like, this was kind of supposed to be their drop game, if anything.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I thought fans were kind of blowing this out of proportion. But again, it is Bournemouth, and Bournemouth has been pretty bad. So I think they're both right. That's kind of what I'm, looking at it from both sides. They're both right.
Yeah.
We got, Wolves Tottenham. Okay. Here's the stat behind this one. Tottenham held the lead for 88 minutes in this game. That is the longest time a Premier League team has held a lead to lose a game in the Premier League.
Damn.
This Tottenham thing.
That's it,
I watched this game from my bed. I watched a majority of it. I got to the 90th minute. I got so tired. I closed my eyes. And then at the 95th minute, I went, it's 2-1? And Kristen was like, yeah. I was like, what did I miss? She's like, they scored 2. I was like, are you kidding me? And I woke up to the sound of, the Wolves are going to get away with a win. And I was like, what the hell? It was the kind of like a great morning to react, like to come alive to. It was like, oh, she should have dropped 2 in a row. I don't know. I was pretty excited about the Wolves in that one.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was clear, Tottenham is missing the creativity that Maddison brings.
Yeah.
The solidity in defense without Romero or Van de Ven, like, there's a lot of changes in that squad, but that was the big question mark we had in those early games. Like, how will this team look when you lose players? And, here we are. And I see a lot of Tottenham fans and even some neutral fans online saying, big up Ainge for sticking to his game and playing his game. And it's like,
but
that's just bad managing, right? Like, you gotta manage and plan for the game ahead with the squad that you have, right? Like, if you ain't got Maddison to create, you need a new plan. Like, and it's not just put someone in Madison's spot and say you do the job, because it's just not going to be the same thing. But if that's how he wants to play, let the man cook.
Well, they cooked and they lost. He burnt it.
Yeah. Over well done. Side stat, did you guys see that, Michael, you probably know this, but Timberwolves and Spurs in NBA. The Wolves beat Spurs. And I was like, what a little
Same day?
segue into there. That was on Friday.
Whoa.
I was like, it was written in the stars before we even had a chance, you know?
Yeah.
Was it close?
It was 117 to 110.
Pretty close. Pretty close.
Yeah.
That's fascinating.
So, you won?
Yeah. I mean, but like to give away 2 goals and added time, like
It's pretty bad.
it's pretty bad.
It's pretty bad. That seems to be the trend though this season. This whole World Cup style of injury time given the 9+ minutes, it's so intimidating to teams where I think they freak out when they see a +9 come up. They're like, "What? We've never had this in our careers. It's the first time. I gotta do this for 9 more minutes." Thiago Silva's going 9 more minutes.
Psychological at that point. 9 minutes probably feels like a lifetime.
Dude, that's what I was saying.
Sure. You're seeing that clock almost tick over to 90. You're like, all right, like 10, 12 more minutes, let's go. And then you got another 10 on top. Like,
it's 10% of a game. I mean, that's a lot.
I gotta go.
Everton beating Crystal Palace. Now, Everton was in the bottom of the bottom of the bottom, and now they're sitting at 14th, which is just crazy that it was 3 weeks ago we were saying they're probably going to get relegated here. Now I'm like, I think they're going to be okay. Beating Palace, Palace has shown up. They've been all right. Mm-hmm. They haven't been shitty. Jordan, fun fact, Ray Hodgson with Crystal Palace, in all of his time managing them, he has never made 5 subs up until last game against Tottenham, and then this recent game he went back to 3 subs. Chad and I had a little tiff. I don't think he knew the new rule change that you can make 5 subs.
Why would he do that?
Someone brought it up on the I think it was the Crystal Palace sub. Oh no, it was the Tottenham sub. They're like, Ray Hodgson decided to make 5 subs against us for the first time ever, and I don't know, man. I think he figured out this rule and he did it, and then he hated it, and now he's back to 3 subs. And fun fact about Roy, I mean, he is pretty old. He's like 78.
Yeah. He's probably living in the older times right now. That's crazy that he's never. That's wild.
First time, yeah.
It's 4 players.
Yeah, you can do it, Roy. You can do more. Kind of shocked on that one. Everything pulling away. I think the big one, the interesting one, is Brighton Sheffield. Chad and I are big Brighton homers. We've kind of been rooting for Brighton. They've been our B team, the one we kind of want to root. We want to see do well, and now I think they just shit the bed. I think the spotlight got too bright. Good players, bad team.
Something, they lost Dunk and Estupinian through injury. Yep. So like those are 2 big defensive players, but I mean, you should still be able to get past Sheffield's.
Yep.
I don't know. They're definitely struggling. It's now 6 games without a win. Started hot and burning out real quick.
Well, here's their injury report. No return date. Solly March. No return date. Danny Welbeck. No return date. Lewis Dunk. No return date. Purvis Stupion. No return date. James Milner, which it's James, but they don't know when their starters are going to come back. So that's pretty worrying. I don't think the future is too bright for Brighton. I didn't plan that.
Yeah, it's such a bummer. Like when they're on, they're a lot of fun to watch. Especially if Matoma's on his game, and Adringa came out of nowhere and has looked pretty good. Had a great run to get a goal in this one, but like they're a mess. They're hot and cold, and their hot moments now are like a handful of minutes in a game rather than the whole game. Yeah.
Last one we have on the board. I'm sorry, we got 2 more. Aston Villa, Fulham, pretty straightforward for me.
Yeah.
I got Aston Villa finishing top 4 this year. I still stand. I'm going to say it every week. They're going to finish top 4 this year. Emery's a mastermind. When things are going right, that team could be the best in the league. I can't wait to see them play City. That's got to be in the next month.
Well, they got Tottenham next, so that'll be big because that's 5 and 6 or 4 and 5 right there. So, Tottenham will be home still without some big players. Villa at home is hot. Sometimes away they cool off, but I think that'll be a spicy one.
They got City at home December 6th.
Okay, coming up.
That'll probably be the highlight one of the weekend. And then last but not least, West Ham versus Forest. West Ham sneaking by Forest. Probably should have smoked them, honestly, the way the form they've been in. But 3-2. I thought Forest is actually pretty decent against West Ham. The finishing, though, behind West Ham's goals were just immaculate. Can't really get much better than that.
You got 2 Ward-Prowse assists from the corners in there, so those are served to you exactly where you need them.
Joey, we had this argument earlier in the year. Why didn't more teams go for James Ward-Prowse?
That's a valid question. Yeah, just seeing those how he's been. Yeah, it's very shocking. Where the scouts at?
I don't know. Hey, not at Southampton.
I mean, his set piece delivery is great. His free kicks are one of the best, if not the best, in the Premier League. I think on that alone, more teams should have looked at him.
For sure.
How
old is he?
He's 29, so he's up there.
Up there. You need a balanced squad, though. You need experience on your team.
Yeah.
Well, it's like you look at a team like Tottenham. Wouldn't they love to have both Maddison and James Ward-Prowse for this very reason? While Maddison's hurt, it's like this would have been a direct. I feel like you could have easily played them both, despite them kind of doing the same thing. But now they don't have either of them. A team like West Ham does, and West Ham is so stacked in the mid.
I think they have
kudos got the start.
I think they have a midfield problem.
Yeah, they have too much talent.
Yeah, Moyes has to find the perfect balance now. And
dude, he's starting Souček at attacking mid.
I don't think that's the move. I get why he's doing it for his height, but I don't think. I'd rather have Ward-Prowse up there.
Yeah, but I mean, he is tall, and when you're going against a short team, it can be effective.
True,
but I do believe they're overloading their midfield, and I don't know. They need better strikers so they can let Bowen kind of fall off and be outside the box a little more. But hey, man, let the man cook. All right, we nailed all our games. Jordan, on the last part of our little pod here, we like to do player of the week, team of the week, goal of the week. You're welcome to get a vote in this. We kind of make our list here, and we kind of just, debate on what we think. We're pretty generous. We like to agree with each other. But let's just start with player. My player of the week is Cole Palmer. Because of the ice in his veins when he stepped up to that. Now that took a long time from PK, the initial call, to when he actually kicked it. 2-3 minutes maybe. It might have even felt longer to him. And they just absolutely banged it. To earn the draw against City. Cole Palmer is my player of the week. I don't think anyone could be in that mindset. Or very few players could be in that same mental mind and score that goal. So that's my vote.
Yeah. I like the Palmer shout. Even all game, he was trying to cause issue, trying to be a threat, trying to, force the ball forward. And a lot of times did cause issue for City's backline. My only counter to that is going to be Sarabia on Wolves. 20 minutes, 1 goal, 1 assist to get the lead, the win. That's that super sub that you want. Different realms of the game, certainly, but
Chad, I'm going to correct you. 10 minutes.
Oh, well, he was on the field for like 20 minutes, but I guess
Was he?
yeah.
I have his sub at the
I think
87.
so. I thought it was.
Fact check me.
Let's see.
On at the 87, goal at the 91.
Well, yeah, but on at 87, and then game ended at 97. Oh, okay, yeah.
Hey man,
You're right.
math is hard.
Yeah. So even more impressive. Okay.
Yeah, right. I know. I was saying, he would have scored 9 goals that game. Jordan, you got a selection?
Nah, I'm probably gonna second the Cole Palmer just because. I mean, you gotta. Yeah, I mean, like you know everything you said, but just from watching the game, a lot of the plays went through him, and I also feel like he had something to prove. It was a great thing to see him go against his old manager. Celebration at the end.
Hey, we're huge on context. We're huge on context. When you were in an environment like that, you get so many leeway points with us. We're like, yeah, you deserve it. Yeah, you do.
Yeah. I see.
Segue to team. I got 3,
Mhm.
but I think I'm gonna go with Chelsea because, come on, 4 goals.
I mean,
you deserve it.
I had Chelsea. I had Wolves. I had Bournemouth.
Oh, me too, dude. Same team.
Like I want to really do Wolves or Bournemouth because they came out with some big wins, but
Yep. Chelsea
to have this like tug of war with City and like go toe to toe with them, and a arguable foul for the penalty, so maybe could have come away with an actual win.
Dude, we would have rioted if you didn't call that a PK. Oh.
Yeah.
No, the Haaland one.
Oh, okay, yeah.
If that wasn't called a PK, like this could have maybe played out to be a Chelsea win
For sure.
Either way, the whole league thanks Chelsea taking points off City. So
we were all Chelsea fans that day. Every single one of us. I'm assuming Chelsea is your team of the week.
Absolutely, 1,000%. I mean, I'll tell you right now, I think Chelsea probably had people lose a lot of money on bets. So,
for sure.
I'm sure they're surprising for a lot of people, I imagine. So, I mean, gotta pay the piper.
Probably Anthony Taylor was going, hey, they'll never expect this.
Also, on the side note too, Pochettino knows what it's like to be a Chelsea man now that he went. I don't know if you guys seen it at the end of the game, directly beeline to Anthony Taylor, started just going off on him, and I'm like, get used to that. As long as this guy's in the league, you're gonna be used to that. So
yeah,
starting to see it, and hopefully we have better results next time.
We got our eyes on you. Last one, goal of the week. I got 3. Zinchenko, karate chop, Diego Jota, quick runner banger, and the Zarabia Wolves goal. I don't know how to choose between the 3. I think, context means a lot. I think I go Zarabia because he came on, and let's do some quick math. 4 minutes later, he scored.
You're the
goal.
math guys.
Yeah, I got the math today. 4 minutes later, he scored the goal that brought them even. And then 6 minutes later, he got the assist.
And it was a pretty sweet goal.
It was a slick-ass goal.
Mm-hmm. That's probably my pick. The only other one I had besides those 3 was Adringa's goal, just because his run was nice, cutting through the defense, but then, like, doesn't feel as cool when you just went and drew against Sheffield. So
yeah, context.
Yeah.
Jordan, do any shout-outs you want to give?
I would probably give it to. I like that Zinchenko's goal.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, he's been going to karate class. You could obviously see it coming out.
I mean, it is a great goal because that kick is so easy to just put too much power on it and shoot it over.
Yeah,
I wish his arms were out like this a little more.
Yeah, kung fu it for sure. That one, and then I also want to shout out T Silva for joining the highest age to.
That's true.
So I mean, you gotta give the man some credit there. So I'm glad he made the list. One of the oldest players, of course. So
give him the flowers.
That was
his first goal this year, right? I think it was.
Yes,
I
believe
so.
so.
Yeah.
I believe so.
He'll score again. He'll break the record again.
Hey, if you find him in the box on a header in the box, that's most likely going in. He's
Yeah.
great.
1984. Holy shit. That's crazy. All right, well, what do you want to say? Sarabia?
I liked the Zinchenko goal.
I'm happy with it. It was karate.
There's a lot of technique to that, but I think the context of Sarabia's goal and it being itself a pretty technical goal, I think I'm leaning that way.
Let's lean into it. Sarabia goal of the week. Cole Palmer player. Chelsea team. Thank you, Chelsea. I don't think you probably enough, but bright future Chelsea. That's what I'm leaning into.
There you go.
Look, Drew, I'm not kidding. I think this is my list. Where's my list? I think it's on my corkboard. I don't have access to it, but I do have Chelsea pegged as number 4 for this year. And
could happen.
Come on up. We'll meet you there.
Hey, I think I see some light coming from the absolutely the 10th place over here. So
I think that's the $1 billion shining.
Look, anything that knocks Tottenham down further, I'm game for. So,
I think those wheels officially fell off. So I think I'm coming.
Yeah.
All right, boys. I think we did it.
Yeah.
Anything else we want to say? Any other football news we want to bring up?
Just since I was doing Sac Republic news, USL final was last night, Sunday. Phoenix Rising, they never say die. Charleston Battery had the lead majority of the game. 90, right around the 90th minute, Phoenix Rising gets a basically free header in the box, takes it to extra time. Not a whole lot happens in the extra time. Goes to PKs. Phoenix comes up, tries the Panenka penalty first.
No, they didn't.
First shot, you're not fooling anyone with the first shot like that. So it's saved. Charleston makes theirs. Phoenix comes up again, just like a terrible hit, gets saved. They're now down 2. Charleston comes up, makes theirs, and then Phoenix just flipped the script on them. Just went, made their last 3. Charleston came up, and no one has taken a PK in their life. Wow. Like they were trying to just pass it in, but with the least amount of power you could do, and they just crumbled. So didn't want Phoenix to win after knocking out Sac, but never say die, and they did it.
If my team gets knocked out of a tournament, the team that knocks us out better win it, because then I just feel better. You know what I mean?
That's fair, yeah.
It's like, okay, so we were second best to them.
Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, that's all I got.
Better luck next year.
Yeah.
All right. I think with that, the Hooligans are out. Episode 50. Special guest Jordan. Welcome to the show. You know what time it is? It's FIFA time. It's FIFA time. All right, Hooligans out. Peace.
Peace. Fight for life.